Welcome, everybody, back to Crack the Code podcast. And we're back here again with our friend Sarah Stokes. So, again, Sarah is a breakthrough business coach, mastermind leader with the Juicy Good Life, where she helps unbury world changers from the mountain of shoulds they are suffering under. She believes when visionary female founders have more joy and when their businesses are thriving, they have energy to change the world in the unique way they are and to make it better. She's an award-winning business strategist who scaled successful businesses to multiple millions. Sarah was a TV anchor for 17 years. She married her co-anchor, and they happily left TV to be with their two young kids and build several successful businesses along the way. Her heart is in philanthropy, and she is most at home when she's in her pajamas in nature or holding space for the big dreams of the women she serves. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. So happy to be here. It's fun to hear your life in a snapshot review and just beam with joy about it.
All
It's so
right.
fun. Thank you so much. Yes.
You must have kind of liked COVID when you got to stay home in your pajamas. I think we all kind of
I
got into that life a little bit, maybe a little bit too much.
Uh-huh. I definitely was on Zoom around the clock and I never stopped wearing pajamas after COVID stopped. I just love it so much. I make it my personal goal to stay in them as long as humanly possible when I'm working from home.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get dressed again after you're
Yeah,
in those comfy clothes. I know it can be difficult to do. So tell
absolutely.
us a little bit about these shoulds. I know a lot of us have these things where, especially when you're young, in high school, you don't always come out doing what you necessarily want to do. You're doing what you think you should be doing, that your parents think you should be doing, or your spouse later on what you should be doing. So tell us about
Yeah.
your little journey through the shoulds.
That we'd be here till,
Yeah.
2029. But
The Coles Notes version. Yeah.
exactly. So I consider a should something you think you're supposed to be doing, but you actually don't want to do. So a should is not the same as a commitment. Like, I should feed my kids every night. Of course, that's a way different commitment, right? It's a priority. A should is something like, it sounds a lot like, hey, I think I should be doing this complex marketing funnel because XYZ guru on Instagram told me I should. Those are the shoulds that deplete the life force from the world changing women I help. And they are expensive on our time, they're expensive on our actual cash flow, they're expensive on our energy because they end up leading to us feeling more not enoughness, right? We've got plenty of not enoughness. We're not thin enough, rich enough, smart enough, qualified enough. It's endless. So I'm like standing up saying enough with the shoulds. You can actually design your life and business in a container that you actually want, that fuels you, that brings you joy, and pays the bills, right? That sustains your life, supports you, and uplifts you. And it isn't something that I heard a lot as I was building our businesses starting in 2014. I only heard follow these steps. This is the playbook, and you should do this. Then it's step two. And I wound up in burnout, Cora. Like, I was fried. I couldn't see straight. I was hallucinating on my kitchen floor. I was seeing like stuff that wasn't there because I was so tired and fried because I was hustling so hard. So I climbed out of burnout through not applying any more shoulds. Now, it took me a long time. I am a ninja de-shoulder today, but I was not in 2014 through 2021. And so what I realized was it started small, right? I should clean my own house. That's an old, junky
Mhm.
one that was not serving me. Do you
Yep.
know how much joy I got when I finally blessed someone else's cleaning business and I could do stuff that I was good at? My whole family benefited. I was crabby every Sunday night because I should clean my own toilets.
Yes, I can relate to that.
Yes. How many of us heard that message? Like, who do you think you are if you get a
Yeah.
cleaning helper?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's blessing that person's business. And it's blessing me and my family because I'm not the crabby mom who doesn't want to do it. It's a total should. So take that and multiply it across all of these businesses that I was building. I should take this client because they have the money to pay me. No, 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 because guess what? That bites you in a
Mm.
hurry.
Hmm.
I will never forget
Right.
saying no. We had a local, I mean, he's probably close to a billionaire at this point, and he came to our company and he was not a good fit. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
He was already treating people with disrespect, very stereotypical. Not all people with money are like that. This particular gentleman was used to having people be his vendors in a certain way. And it took everything in me to say, we're not the best fit for you, because it would have been a should that we regretted for the rest of the contract.
Yes.
Right? So you
Yeah.
can apply this everywhere. And whether it's your work week, your calendar, I should work 40 hours a week. Who says? I want you to question everything. Who says? And a lot of times it's the voices of the past, right? It's the
Yeah.
well-meaning grandmother who was the immigrant who worked her fingers to the bone, right? We are blessed to know those folks, but sometimes we make them our invisible business partners and then wonder why we're miserable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope
And we
that
don't
gives you a little
even know
sneak preview.
that.
You
And
don't even know.
I know when I originally started my coaching business, I was in that should one with the steps. You should have a funnel, you should have a this, you should have a that. And I really stepped back from everything. And this time I came back and said, I want to do it this way. And I don't even know if this is a way, but this is the way I want to do it.
Yes.
I don't want to necessarily have to do a Facebook group, you know?
Right. And
Yeah.
how does it feel? Not
Well,
shoulding.
so far it's good.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, but it feels much better. It feels more me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
More
And
authentic and more organic, which I want it to be.
and we need Cora. We don't need Cora in somebody else's like formula, right? We
Yeah.
need you showing up as you. And the thing that helps me, so you see how your brain was already like, well, so far so good.
Yeah.
Your brain is going to tell you it's not going to work, right? Because we
Hmm.
should. Your brain
Yeah.
loves the should, right?
Right.
Here's just to tap back in to, okay, who says, right?
Yeah.
And to remind yourself you're safe. And guess what helps me? I reserve the right to change my mind. If a Facebook group someday is no longer a should for you, Cora, then you
Mm.
totally can do it, right? One of my favorite things is saying, I love my decisions of yesterday. I love my decisions of today, right? Because we would also make ourselves wrong for saying, well, I don't want a Facebook group right now, but I might in the future, and that's okay. But right now,
Mm.
it's a should.
Yeah.
And you will magnetize everything you want when you're uplifted and free of shoulds. And so, yeah, I'm feeling that in my life right now. I'm pretty hot off the biggest de-shoulding of my whole existence.
Oh, wow. That
So I
sounds
don't
like
know.
a story there.
Do you, shall
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
So the Cliff Notes version is I built a amazing marketing agency with my husband, and my husband retired from it pretty much about 2 years back, and he's doing commercial real estate, which is a much slower pace. And so that left me with our high intensity, high service, high touch marketing agency. And the shoulds were infinite. And I had a beautiful team of people, CEO, clients around the globe. It was incredible. A dream come true. And it did make all of our dreams come true. I hit every goal I ever wanted. And when I came upon this past spring of 2022, I realized, okay, I've hit every goal. I should want to keep this business going. I should want to lead this team. I should want to continue to cultivate clients. And at the end of the day, knowing myself, I heard very strongly from my soul, this is not what's going to be your next 8 years. It was built alongside my coaching business, and I get to help incredible humans. I help the pebble in the pond, right? She has a ripple effect. And if I can help her then she can go help a lot of people and they can help a lot of people. And not that we didn't with marketing. Of course, we did a lot of good work in the world, a lot of nonprofit work. And it was a should. And with knees shaking, I told my husband, who was absolutely not ready to hear that answer from me, that I was ready to retire. And it was almost going to break our marriage. I was convinced that day that we might not make it through this because he was adamant that that was the wrong move, but he didn't want to sell. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
we have a couple of options here, but none of them include me living under a suffocating should. And it's not fair to our clients and it's not fair to our team. So, with love, I stood my ground. I honored my truth and my integrity, and we made it through. And my husband and I, that was the hardest part. The team handled it with grace. They all went on to beautiful new ventures. Our team helped our clients move on to their better future. And me unburying myself from that mountain of shoulds has opened myself up to a true um, energy for my mission to heal the world one businesswoman at a time that I don't even know, like, where will it stop? Like, how many humans can I help now that I'm not living in that should? And so many of us, in fact, I have a client who came to me and said, and she's been in business 30 years and she built a heck of a business. She's like, is that legal? We can leave? I'm like, yes, we are not chained to our businesses. And I'm not saying this is like,
Yeah.
one size fits all, leave your business. But if
Right.
you are in shoulds, ask yourself, what do you really want? And no one asks us that, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have a really wise mentor or coach. Nobody says, what do you want? Well, I'm saying it today. What do you want?
Yeah. Or maybe you
Yeah,
can just do the parts of your business that you love, and
totally.
somebody else can do the parts of your business that you don't love.
100%. And I did that for a long time, got really good at delegating. And it's just so freeing to truly do what it is you have fuel and desire to do instead of, well, I guess I'll do this now because I'm supposed to, right? Based on the
Right?
formula that who made up? Don't even know.
I know.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it takes all the courage in the world, but it is so worth it for your soul and your spirit.
Yeah. So before we go here, like some people obviously are not going to be as far ahead as you and have started so many businesses. So maybe somebody's listening today that has never even started a business. They're
Yeah.
not even sure what to do. Like, what is some bits of advice you could give one of our listeners who's listening today and thinking, I don't know, I have this crazy idea. I've never done anything with it.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
what
I'd
should I do
love to.
first?
Well, really get quiet and think about the things that light you up. What in your world, you maybe have heard this in different ways, but it's pretty true. It's a good question. What would you do all day for free and not get paid for it? Me helping women, I did it every day of my life and I loved it, right? So that's a good place to start. Easy question. What would I do if all day and love without getting paid for it? Now, if that's not bringing up anything for you, I would look around the places in your life, and it's an easy like coaching tool to do an energy drains, like write down everything you do, plus sign if it energizes you, minus sign if it depletes you, and just take a look. Where in your life are you lit up? And for people who have a business idea, don't let anybody tell you that you can't. There is a client for every business, every niche. There is a client for every price point, right? And there's a critic for every business, price point, etc.
Yeah.
So we're not selling to our critics.
Yeah.
So I want you to dream big. Sell to the person who's praying for you right now, you know? And just ask yourself, if you run against a should or something feels like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Well, there's probably a should there, right? So ask yourself,
Mm,
who says? Who says you have to have X amount of startup capital? Who says you have to have a website first?
right.
No one. It's made up, you guys. And I
Yeah.
owned a marketing agency. I can tell you with authority, no one says except for a should. And then when you decide and desire something, follow that. Follow that. There will be commitments. It's not the same as a should,
Yeah.
right? We have to
Yeah.
pay the bills, we
Yeah.
have to have cash coming in. Commitments. Definitely, if it's a should, get a bookkeeper at some point. But start there. I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
brings you energy? And when you come up against the should, say, who says? And I bet the answer is not somebody that you really want to partner with invisibly in your business.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think if you're putting it out there and you're not getting support from friends and family because they're going to be
Mhm.
trying to protect you and they may not be the ones that are going to be your support,
Mhm.
find a group of like-minded people that can support you and help you along the way, or get a coach or something. There's lots of networking groups with other like-minded women so that you can find out that, maybe that idea is not that crazy. Maybe that's pretty cool and nobody has
Yes.
even thought of it before.
Yes, because we run our ideas up with focus groups that have no business being the focus group. Grandpa, uncle, cousin Shirley, God bless them, but they are not probably your audience.
Yeah.
So they won't understand. And you're right, Cora, they're going to try and keep you safe because they wouldn't do it. So
Mhm.
they're not going to be your like cheerleader support there. They're going to try and keep you safe.
Yeah.
And
And they
we
don't
went
want
through
you to
that.
get hurt.
Of
They don't want
course.
you to, just in case it doesn't work. But you never know. Once you got to start things and maybe they just evolve. Maybe you're not even sure where you're going, but that's okay.
It
Just
is
make some
okay.
steps and it'll
Yes.
evolve along as it's meant to be.
Yes, and someday some of them will say, "Wow, I just didn't see it, but now I see how happy you are, and I'm so proud of you."
Yeah.
Not all of them,
Yep.
but the evolved ones will say, "Wow, I didn't get it, but now I see your joy, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad." Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is great. I'm so happy to have you here today, Sarah.
Thank you.
And I'm just wondering if you have something you want to share with the folks that are listening today.
Yes, so I have a video training called Finish Strong, and it's for any time of the year, any goal that you haven't finished yet. It's recalibrating, essentially. It's the very principles and tools I use every single day in my business to stay joyful and stay successful. So link in the show notes. You can get it
Yes.
in you get both ways. I have an ebook that's beautiful if you love to look at beautiful things, or the video course, which has obviously the audio and visual piece to it as well that I take you through. So it's a short burst of really good techniques and tactics to help you finish anything strong.
Nice. That's awesome. I can't wait to check it out. And again, thank you for joining me, everybody, and Sarah, and we'll see you all again soon.
Thank you.